ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on, we thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. We here at Angry Me Production want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 99 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at TexasMobileNotaryMindy.com. That's TX, MobileNotaryMindy.com. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Like for the
It's
whole
not-
show?
You say don't push the button. I'm going to push the fucking button.
Welcome to Nerd Sports, where we discuss topics that provoke thought without any fuss. Team of veterans and a brave civilian unite under Angry Me Productions guiding light. We are a beacon for those who seek audacious humor, unafraid to speak, celebrating freedom with every beat, exploring controversial issues, taking a seat, navigating life with intellect, not defeat. The Nerd Force always with us, never discreet.
I love it, Max. I love it. Max made
Okay.
that.
That was my first time hearing that.
Oh, your name's in all the songs, I'm pretty sure. Everybody's name. I didn't leave anybody out.
I am now going to have to go through the entire list, and I apologize, Max. I haven't had time to sit down and
No,
actually
brother, you're good. I actually make a reference to your soft beard in one of the songs, not in a weird way.
It's a weird way.
And,
No,
and
not in a
Johnny's-
weird way.
I call him Johnny Smooth Voice Johnny.
Well,
And-
that having been said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, Angry Faithful,
What an opening.
stumbled upon episode 171 of Nerd Sports.
Oh,
Hi out there, world. What you heard was the lyrical stylings of one Max Turbin, the Mad Max, the Russian Jew. Dude, you are that was glorious.
that was the world debut right there, too.
that took the world by storm. I mean,
expect
here,
it to go platinum in a week.
like the intro music that we normally have at the beginning of our show whenever you go back and listen to the playback, right?
Yeah.
They were playing that at the Space Cowboys game last night in Sugarland. And I had to do a double take the first time I heard it. And I was like, holy crap, are they showing us on the big screen? Like, what is going on there? And I'm looking around and I'm trying to find David's like little piece together intro. and I'm like, oh no, so I mean, David called me and he's like, are you doing something important right now? It's like, I'm at the Space Cowboys game. What's up, man? But yeah, no, I don't know. And then I've already eaten it. Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah.
Hi, Mindy.
She's like, did you get your steak? And I'm like, I've already eaten it.
You should have said no so you can get another one.
No, because I'm the only one that cooks my steaks, because I'm the only one in the house that eats them medium rare.
No.
Yeah.
No.
putting that
That's a
out there.
shame.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
okay.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yes.
We're
We
gonna
gotta-
go ahead, David. Go ahead.
We gotta do the weird sport of the week. This is called Death Diving World Championship. It's on the Ocho.
Do you only compete in this sport once? Oh, apparently not. Dude's getting
They're walking out alive. What the? Come on. This is bullshit.
yeah.
No.
Team Shades of Norway. What?
No.
Ravin Kimford. Ravin. He sees big springtime blowout. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Look, he survived it.
yeah, but still, it's
Did
Did you notice he had his knee wrapped up? I'm like, holy
Yeah.
crap. Did you see the side of his face?
hold on.
Like smack. Like it is red. Like when he starts to when it shows him
Okay.
starting to swim out.
Like,
Look at that.
Jesus.
Okay, dude. All right.
Yeah,
He had to write son across his chest
like-
to make sure that he remembered that he belonged to somebody after this. Look at this dude. This dude
Conor
looks like
McGregor without the hair.
I mean, he looks like the guy that's like looking for Vikings for the ship. Like,
oh. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
That was a bit of all right there.
I mean,
And if you're listening to us,
That's one of those
radio
sports where you
channel,
have to be drunk to do it.
and
I
if
mean,
you're-
I'm here for the chaos.
and if you're listening on the Texas radio show, you're probably getting this a week behind. But yeah, look up death diving. Just death diving. You watch the video. Basically,
Yeah.
it's a belly flop challenge.
So
Extreme belly flop.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do my best Conan O'Brien impression, and we're looking into the year 3000.
3000.
On let's see here, next month on the next month on the 12th, I will be absent because I'm going to go see the Red Sox play the Astros. So
I'll allow it.
yeah,
That's the only reason.
I don't get to see my Red Sox play in person very often, but yeah, I mean, I tried to get tickets for the Wednesday show, but it kind of clashed with my school schedule. So I kind of need to, I specifically left Monday nights free for my education to do this show. So Monday night was kind of the only night that I had available, and it just so happens that they were in town. I'm going to the game, so there's that.
I'm still upset.
Well, hey, life's full of disappointment, David.
You're like chock full of it.
You're
though.
usually the cause of that disappointment, though, David.
Right. I mean, especially when you came out when you came out the chute and you had a dick,
It's good.
your mom had to throw away all the dresses. And then your
Actually,
dad's like,
no,
no, hold
shit.
on. We've already spent money on this shit. You might as well.
Actually, it's quite the opposite. My sister wasn't wanted.
Listen,
I
you
was.
just put a belt on him and call it a kilt. That's what it was.
My
There-
dad
there
wanted.
you go. That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Since we're sharing personal stories, when I first came to the United States and we were all poor as shit, and I was, I didn't know any better. Clothes were clothes to me. I didn't realize till I was like in the 4th or 5th grade that I'd been wearing women's clothes because of the size I was at that point in my life.
Well, it was the 80s, man. So I mean,
Yeah, it was perfectly acceptable without,
I'm
Yeah.
sure you had the calves for it, though.
absolutely.
no, not like dresses or anything, just like
Oh,
pants.
So
not
like capris, but you were short, right? Just shake your
No,
head
I-
up in that north south different direction. I'm trying to give you an out here.
I thought we were just all getting deep and personal. So you know what? Let's
Well,
just
when you start using the word deep and personal, when you start
And
using those
women's
words in a
clothes, this
sentence, I mean,
this
you
is sounding
started
more and
listing
more like the
certain
Olympics every
feelings out of-
second. So I'll
yeah,
stop.
I mean, you started eliciting certain feelings out of David when you start using terms like deep and personal. I mean, considering y'all have never even been on a first date, he's looking at this like it's a bonus.
I made him
so-
a special song though. So I mean,
did. It's one of my first
oh, romantic.
It is a room. No fucking did lay off of him. He's so special.
So I wanted to go to the Astros game tonight, but I was like, man, because Paul Skeens, the Pittsburgh pitching phenom. Say that 3 times fast. Pittsburgh pitching phenom. I can't even say it 3 times slow.
You say it one time.
The rookie pitcher sensation from Pittsburgh. He's taking the hill against the Astros tonight in Houston. So I'm like, man, I'm just gonna have to catch the highlights on it. But I really wanted to see him pitch. But damn it, I'm committed to you guys. I mean, I was, plus on top of that, I was looking at it and I was like, well, I'm already going to ditch out on him for the Red Sox. I'm like,
That's why we love you, Johnny.
Special place in my heart. Okay.
At least there's one.
What?
Huh?
Again, yeah. Okay. See there you go. Right there. All right. So, let me see here. There has been all kinds of moves for the coming up to the trade deadline. I think what we're going to do is next week, after the trade deadline has already passed, we'll kind of do a recap for the on the big moves next week. I think it'll be a lot easier to address that way, especially since time is kind of the essence this evening. It's not going to be one of the notoriously long and drawn out shows that you've become accustomed to, but yeah, it's going to be a good time all the way around. Anyway, I was kind of looking through some of the news. I didn't really see a whole lot. One thing to note: the only broadcaster that got inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame last week was Joe Castiglione of the Boston Red Sox. He was the only recipient of the Bill Frick Award. Yeah. Oh, and Maria has entered the chat.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. There we go.
What is going on?
House.
Wow.
She meant the intro. We'll have to play it at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Then it becomes the outro.
But then it becomes the outro.
It's an intro and outro.
So, Chris, being a Rangers fan, I'm sure you are well acquainted with the historic dislike that Adrian Beltre has displayed when people touch his head.
Yes.
So, David Ortiz actually introduced him at the podium in Cooperstown last week. And when Adrian Beltre stepped up to the podium, David Ortiz took a step back and then took a step forward and rubbed his head.
That's awesome. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Joe Mauer and Todd Helton both got all those 3 players where they were all inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. I am absolutely 100% pleased and have 0 gripes with this class of Hall of Famers. All 3 of them class acts. Adrian Beltre, he was the court jester of baseball during his time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, especially that classic where he got ejected for moving the on
that was hands down one of my all-time favorite videos of all time. Is just him. Doesn't even put the bat down. He doesn't move any of that. He just grabs the circle.
He just grabs the mat and pulls it, and
that was, oh man. If you're gonna get ejected, that's what you want to get ejected for.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's I mean, and then I was listening to the Red Sox game on the way home Saturday, and they spent a lot of time, Joe and his color commentator talking in between in between pitches about their time in Cooperstown over the weekend, and just the fact that there was a couple of players that kind of fell victim to the blue screen of death that a lot of airlines, except for Southwest, because they, for whatever reason, decided to use Windows 98.
reason for that, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's the reason why I fly Southwest and not Spirit. So, there's that. But just the fact, I mean, like within an arm's reach, I mean, you're in a room full of Hall of Famers. And it didn't matter what team that they played for. It didn't matter whether or not they were rivals, or just bitter enemies during their playing days. I mean, they were all just like old friends, just chatting it up with each other, just swapping war stories. And I know I'm just sitting there, I'm like, man, just the idea of just being kind of in that environment, I it would be like the ultimate fanboy experience for me. So, but yeah, I took in my first minor league ball game last night in I don't know, it's been years, probably closer to almost 30. Well, no, wow, crap. Yeah, it's been about 30 years since I've been to a minor league baseball game.
Yeah.
Went to go see the Space Cowboys, which is the Astros AAA affiliate in Sugar Land, Texas, last night. All the humidity was there. I mean, it had all the humidity. I mean, it was gross. It was sticky. They were playing the Sacramento River Cats, which is the AAA team for the San Francisco Giants. But the Sugar Land got its ass handed to it, like 5-1. And well, yeah, it was rough.
Mhm.
But I got a home run ball last night, so that was a plus.
Makes it all worth it.
Oh yeah, and that's Constellation Field is actually kind of a nice ballpark. I mean, it's nice and it's not huge. It's kind of intimate. We had the bullpen patio seats, which is it's right center field. Right next to both of the bullpens are right next to each other, and so the seats were actually field level, and you could look through the fence and see the pitchers warming up.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, dude, it was great. I mean, as far as like family friendly, I mean, it was your stereotypical minor league ballpark experience. They had a splash pad for the kids, playground for the kids in the outfield. I mean, the variety of snacks, ballpark fare, so to speak, was pretty limited. But it's like, okay, it's a minor league ballpark, right? Pricing was pretty consistent with Minute Maid Park, so no big surprise there. But tickets are not that bad. And as much as I love going to see games at Minute Maid Park, being able to take the boys to go, and take my wife and her sister to go, take in a major league game, it takes just as long to get to Sugar Land as it does downtown Houston. And, we're not gonna, we don't have to take out a second mortgage or sell a kidney just to go to a ball game. So I don't know.
There's just something about that minor league experience, though. I mean, it's great going to a major league game and all that. And you have all the pomp and circumstance and everything that's there, but there's just something about the feel of a minor league game that just can't beat it.
I mean, at some points, the production and the product that was on the field felt very familiar. And then I was like, why is that? And then like, oh wait, I take part in something like this once a week. So yeah it's
authentic and genuine.
Exactly.
It's raw and unfiltered, and
it's got, the soul of the game is still intact.
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, went into the gift shop. I say the pro shop, but go into the team store that's there at the ballpark. I took my youngest last night. It was through the church, so I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, $40 a ticket, and that included a $15 voucher for food. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to take a stick at it.
Hell yeah.
But I bought 2 t-shirts, one for me, one for him, and of course, use the military discount, which they do offer at the ballpark. I only spent like $32 for both shirts.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased about that. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, of course, I went repping the Red Sox. I mean, wore all my Red Sox, crap, my City Connect jersey with the hat, and I got so many side eyes from people. Like, what? All these people are wearing their Astros gear, and then there's some, a lot of people wearing Space Cowboy stuff. And I'm like, I'm walking through here in Red Sox gear, and I'm like, I could give two. I couldn't give two fucks. I mean, I did not have two fucks that I could have rubbed together. I really couldn't have. I couldn't.
How does that song go?
What is it? It's a shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. Yeah.
The ball run dry.
Give no
Let me see here. Here's something to speak to the character of Patrick Mahomes. He was asked just the other day if he felt like he was underpaid. He said not necessarily.
I think a no would have been fine.
I mean, right? I mean, it's like,
but
tell me you're not making a PR statement without telling me that you're making a PR statement.
Yeah, please explain to me how you're underpaid.
Yeah, Cooper
Go ahead.
Kupp.
I'd love to hear it.
Cooper Kupp, wide receiver for the Rams. He's excited to feel healthy after having injury riddled. The last 2 seasons he's just been hurt off and on. I look for him to maybe play 3 weeks before he goes down with a high ankle sprain or something. I don't know.
They're giving him a lot for that.
Aaron Rodgers said, "I'd like to still have 2 great years."
I'd like him to have 2 great quarters.
I mean, I love how his 2023 highlight reel was literally 45 seconds long.
Right.
Yeah, they turned it into a movie called 3 Snaps. And you're out.
His pregame.
Well, 4 snaps if you count the Achilles tendon.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh no!
Good one. When he sat down for a moment, I didn't know what was going on, and then it occurred to me he's not protesting; he's injured.
Yeah.
No, that was good.
All right. So real quick, let me do this here real fast.
It's kind of funny how many injuries there already are for the NFL before even started. I was looking at the list right now, and there's like 7 pages of 5. So
I mean, dudes are just getting wore out.
Yeah.
Already. I mean, and they're still in OTAs. And some teams are just now going into their first full pad, run throughs. And what was it? One of the Cowboys draft picks he tore his ACL.
Yeah. He tore his ACL.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's gone already,
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, to kind of put it into perspective, as far as like the expectation of Cowboys Nation, it's like at the beginning of the season when you get, a lot of MLB Facebook pages and Twitter accounts, they're like, and the first pitch to start off opening day, and the Mets are out of playoff contention. It's one of those situations, right? So, the Mets are now eliminated from postseason play.
Yeah, it started coming over on my feed and everything for sports stuff, and I was looking at it, and I was and I had to do a double take, and I was like, NFL injured list. I was like, is it?
Yeah, you're not seeing things. You're really not seeing things.
I had to think. I was like, why does everybody keep on saying like the NFL preseason is like a month away, and they're already in the injured list?
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
yeah.
And they really haven't even started practicing hard. We're talking practice without the pads for the most part of these injuries.
Those like foam domes.
Non-contact injuries, I think that's what they call them.
Playoffs practice.
Yeah. Practice. We're talking about practice.
Yeah. We're not going to make the playoffs.
Like, man, we're gonna have a good season. Oh yeah, who do you play for? Oh, I mean, I'll play for Denver. Oh,
what year is this?
Oh, who's your quarterback? I don't know.
Have a court? Oh,
like quarterback. Oh shit, we forgot to draft
But it's really sad. It's like last season is like I mean we were we didn't go that hard on the donkeys, but it's pretty
No, we
bad.
didn't.
The players themselves like, man, I want to win at least one game.
Mhm.
We didn't go hard on the donkeys just because the rest of the fucking NFL did.
I know.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
To be
To be
fair,
fair. to be fair, given the fact that David brings down the average on girth in this room,
okay.
it would be like sticking your big toe in a coffee can at that point, right?
God. Yeah.
Woo! These are the jokes, people.
If anybody has a question as to why the
He's coming side to
Broncos
side to his side.
Donkeys aren't a very good team or franchise, just look
We
at
call
the
them
collective they
donkeys
have
for a
for
reason.
ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good point. I mean,
Oh, did you see where Colin Kaepernick? He said that he didn't want to play in the NFL as long as Butker was still in the league. I mean, like, dude, nobody fucking wants you here anyway. So
be like, okay.
your 15 minutes expired fucking 3 years ago, dude. So
Holy shit, you're still around?
Yeah,
It's like that
Seriously.
office scene
It's
where
like
you're like
that,
looking down.
It's like that scene in Tombstone when Doc Holliday is like, "Oh, you're still here? You can go away now.
Yeah.
Right.
I forgot you
Yeah.
were here. You can go now." That's exactly what that's like.
oh, and you can leave the shotgun.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the only reason why Colin Kaepernick has got a football helmet still is because he stole the last one that he had when he was playing for the 49ers.
Right.
You know, I mean, if he were to get a contract to play anywhere, whether it be the UFL or NFL Europe or the CFL or Arena League somewhere, he wouldn't be able to use it because it's outdated. And at this point, the plastic's probably a little brittle,
Got a little dry rot going.
you know.
if he was so serious about playing football, which he claims to be, he's had so many opportunities outside the NFL. There are other leagues, whether it be the CFL, the USFL, the XFL, all the other FLs out there. He's turned them down. So if he's really that passionate about playing the game of football, then why hasn't he done it regardless of what level he thinks he should be at? If you want to play, go
Right.
play.
I want to see the type of dedication at a Colin Kaepernick that we saw at a Johnny Manziel when he got out of his CFL contract. He was told that he was going to be given a piss test and a breathalyzer test twice a month. Right? He wanted out of his CFL contract, and the owners told him, no, get fucked and stay fucked, right? So what did he do? The night before he was supposed to be breathalyzed and piss test, he went to the club, came in drunk, walked past the screener and goes, "You're gonna love me today."
Melt that cup. I'm gonna be
Money Manziel.
He burned a hole in the floor. He thawed out the permafrost in the old Canadian tundra there.
Oh
And
man.
it wasn't because of the poteen was a little extra potent. No, sir. He was drinking a lot of that Labatt's Blue. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
As soon as Colin gets in here, I have a new intro and outro for Joke Time with Colin this week. And yeah,
We just got all kinds of new hotness in here today.
all kinds of new hotness.
bring it.
Exactly. So I mean, I'm waiting on him.
Oh, we can talk about the Olympics a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to do that here.
Oh, boy.
Let me do. Yes, I'm. Let me see.
Can we just have a moment of appreciation for that cameraman and the women's sprint?
Oh yes, absolutely.
There's a man who just
That
Gosh
he knew
darn
what he's doing.
gosh darn it, he loves his job.
He
Oh,
loves
yeah.
his job.
Did
He
anybody
loves the
make
mixture.
bets on
We
the,
salute
Good
you,
job.
sir.
Did anybody make bets on the swim team? Because I voted against Nigeria for reasons.
Damn it.
Max is about to die.
So
Fuck, man. You can't say shit like that when I'm in the middle of a fucking swallow, man.
He's-
Oh shit.
As in-
See, what our viewers don't understand is that after the show's over, David's going to give them a pro tip like relax your jaw. Don't forget to cup the balls.
So you
Yeah.
got to move your tongue forward a little bit. It kind of eases the transition. It's,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I fixed it. Good now.
David is our resident expert on swallowing.
We'll call them Cool Runnings.
All right. So Colin's experiencing some, I don't know, Wi-Fi difficulties. So he's going to hop on his phone and he's going to come in. So his camera is going to go black from time to time during his period, but he'll still be able to hear us and he'll still be able to interact with us. Right now, the medal count, Japan has 6 gold medals.
Oh wow! It came out strong in the men's
Samurai sword fighting.
that too. I'm blanking on the word. Gymnastics. There we go. Thank you. I got to catch them a little bit during lunch, and they had a strong showing.
All right, let me see here. Damn it.
I speak for myself when I say this is we're in no dead air time while Johnny's researching. I myself have not watched any of the Olympics after I saw what I
I've been watching
saw in the
rugby,
ceremony.
women's rugby, only for Anaya Meyer.
I
Dude.
make a point not to watch the opening ceremonies or closing ceremonies ever.
That's true.
It's just not worth it.
Nope.
There's always going to be something in there that just I just don't want to see it.
No.
Yeah, well, there's been a couple of countries that have recalled their athletes and say that we're not going to participate in this.
The
Oh,
opening ceremony,
Especially considering
After the opening ceremony.
and their living conditions.
Oh yeah, the living conditions are
okay, yeah.
just
You know,
horrible.
they have the food there is all plant based, and they're saying they're not getting enough
Eggs, and they ran
calories,
out of
not getting
chicken.
enough protein. Yeah, they're not getting. They want it plant based. They want it to be green. Their hotel or their rooms or whatever dormitories, whatever you want to call them, they're all at 79 degrees. They don't have AC.
no air conditioning. Oh yeah, and the mattresses are being billed as anti-sex mattresses, right? And they're all like made out of this like cellular.
The frame is made of cardboard.
A board.
Yeah, and the frames are made out of cardboard. Ew, boy,
It's
Harris,
fucking cool.
You're not getting a good night's sleep on that thing. I don't care how you try to press it.
leave it to
No
the French
way.
to fuck up a wet dream.
Yep.
I wish they would take things as serious as they do the Olympics, like people peeing in the streets, all the trash, things like that. You know, maybe make it look like a first world country if we could.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's gotten so bad that they basically there's so many countries that are just telling their athletes like don't even fucking eat the food there. Like when they did finally start bringing in a little bit of meat because they'll let a few people have some meat, and it's wrong.
Right.
They're not even cooking it right. None of the shit they're cooking is right.
And another thing that people may or may not know, outside of the US, we do not generally eat things like horses. Horse meat is not something that you're going to find in many menus. Now, go to France. Horse meat is served like it's fucking
Like it's beef.
Yeah.
basically.
Mm.
Facts.
I believe it. I 100% believe it.
Uh-oh. What do we got?
There we
there
go.
he is.
Here we go. What is up, my guy? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Colin, be prepared. Okay. Be prepared. You got your material ready?
I'm guessing it's a new intro.
Oh yeah. You ready?
Astute.
Rising from the smoke and haze of desolation comes a Spartan. He is bent on wronging that which has been set right. It's the greatest genetic code ever to exist. Now, for your ears and eyes to feast upon. Ladies and gentlemen, angry faithful of all ages, it's time for Joke Time with Colin.
Yeah.
I need a joke.
I got to hear most of it.
That's fantastic.
The internet was doing the thing where it would cut out the audio every once in a while.
I will send you the I'll send you the file so you can listen to it later.
Audio.
But, yeah. So as far as everybody else is concerned, what did y'all think?
Fantastic. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
That's great.
That was
And
banging.
I rewrote the outro.
Yeah.
So the outro is going to be just fucking gravy too. Okay. All right, Colin, what you got for us this week?
Why did Helen Keller cross the road? I don't know. I don't even think she knows she was.
What?
Why did Helen Keller cross the road?
Did it cut out?
It
Yes,
did. It did.
I heard it, Colin. No, it was good shit.
Why did Helen
Uh,
Keller cross the road? I don't know. I don't even think she knew she was crossing one.
How the fuck does she know?
That's awesome. Oh man.
Okay.
So bad.
Oh.
What else you got?
Dead air.
I think Helen Keller's starting to take over Colin right now.
Yeah.
No, then we would be inundated with things like
Oh, I saw this video. I saw this video. It was like some kind of parade or some shit like that, and it was like devoted to Helen Keller, and I guess the little girl was deaf, and
did they hold it at night?
No, something hit her. Something hit her, and she was like. It's weird.
We love deaf people. We love blind people, even though we know you can't hear us and see us. We love you for that too.
They're not a part of our demographic, honestly. So fuck them.
Wow.
Right now, there's somebody brailing the shit out of their fucking monitor, and they're looking at you, Dave.
Oh yeah. That's happening.
Yes.
You got any more smoke for us, Colin?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it to where every time I tell a joke, it doesn't cut me out.
Well, I mean, we can hear you just fine right now, so go ahead and just shoot the dice.
Where did Helen Keller's parents have her go when there's company over?
Where?
Did it cut me out again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do Helen Keller's parents send her when there's company over?
Disney World.
What?
You don't get it, do you?
No.
I believe I get it.
They tell her
It's
she's at
dark.
Disney World, but
Oh,
Oh, okay.
damn lag.
Do you want me to tell the joke
I
that,
wouldn't
that,
I
that,
wouldn't
that
have gotten it anyway.
you want me to tell them the joke that we got this weekend? The one you were like, I don't get it, and I had to explain it to you.
Yeah, sure. Because I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
100%.
Why
Oh,
couldn't the
the one that
Avon
Minnie
lady
did?
talk?
Fucking hell.
Why couldn't the Avon lady speak?
Why?
Because her lipstick.
Oh,
Was that it?
There's an ointment for
That was it. that was it. Because you were like, I don't get it, and then I go, her lips.
No. Look.
Or
It
her
was
Does it hurt when she walks?
no. It was why did she walk funny?
Oh, why'd she walk
Why'd she
funny? Yeah,
walk
that's
funny?
right.
Why
Yeah,
did she
see, then
walk
I got the punchline, but I fucked up the Anyways,
This is why it's not joke time with Johnny.
that's why it's not joke time with Johnny. It's joke time with
Yeah.
Colin.
And that's why
ready for
we
your new
do
outfit?
not negotiate with terrorists.
Because it's going to be a short show this week. Because
Okay, yeah.
all right, okay, here we go.
Slipping out through the fog of war, this Spartan continues the fight. Your souls have become collateral damage in the battle against the flood of moral supremacy. Leave your expectations at the door on your way out and marvel before the pillar of tactical prowess. Ladies and gentlemen, angry faithful of all ages, this has been Joke Time with Colin.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
That's
did it
amazing.
play? I didn't hear it. I didn't hear
I will
any of
call
it.
you after we get done with the show and let you listen to it.
God,
It was beautiful.
it was gorgeous.
I'll FaceTime you after the show's over and I'll play it for you.
we're getting pretty
It's not my
decent.
fault.
I'm proud of myself. Like I threw those together in about the span of
Okay, I'm gonna
about
take your word for it.
35 minutes.
That's not bad at all.
That's not
Mary
bad.
Kay drive a pink Cadillac.
She does.
Oh.
Boom. Facts.
And it's not even like it's not even the internet that's bad. It's just the internet on this computer. That's the
Do you got too many tabs open?
I have only this one open.
Oh, then I have no idea.
It's an old laptop. Next time you come down, just bring it with you. We'll figure it out. We'll work on it. Anyways, yeah, the Olympics are going on. Woo woo. I'm really just, dude. I'm not all that excited about the Olympics at all.
Not
I'm
many
really
people.
not. I mean, the men's gymnastics team, they medaled for the first time today in 16 years, and they ended up with a bronze. So I'm like, okay, you couldn't even be good enough to get first loser. But the Americans men and women's soccer team are kind of going like bonkers. I mean, the men's team scored more goals in the first 30 minutes of their opening match than they have in the last 3 Olympics.
Oh, jeez.
Damn.
So, I mean, they scored 3 goals in 30 minutes in their opening match.
So far, it's Japan is in the lead for the amount of gold medals.
Yeah, 6 gold medals for Japan, 5 for
France,
France,
China, and
and
Australia.
5. America's got 3, but America's leading the overall tally for medals total, and it was that counts at 20.
Yeah.
France is behind them at 16. You know, I don't know, man. It just.
If it's on, I'll watch it. But that's just not something.
I'm not going. Yeah, I'm not going out of my way to turn on Peacock and go, oh, hey, I'm going to watch the Olympics. I'm just not doing it. I don't really care. They didn't include softball. They didn't include baseball in this year's games at all.
Or
How does that-
Russia.
Yeah, for some reason, Russia's not on the Olympic team. I don't know why.
Well, technically, Russian athletes are allowed to participate. However, they're doing so independently due to the fact of the conflict overseas, if you will. But the hypocrisy of the Olympics is so overwhelmingly blatant. Has the United States been involved in any conflicts during the course of the last, I don't know, 50 years and still maintained Olympics, with the exception of the 1980 and the 1984 boycotts between the U.S. and the Soviet Union going for tit for tat?
Well, to be fair, Max, most of the Russian Olympic team is tattered and laying in pieces across Ukraine. You know,
it's scripted.
I mean,
We're busy,
we've got drones- we've got
fighting
drone
for
footage showing us
justice
where
over
most
there.
of their army or most of their Olympic team is. So I mean, I don't
They're
know.
working for the Wagners.
I mean, they allow Syria in there, which is just bad enough.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, dude, it's horrible.
Iran.
I mean, yeah, Iran,
Yeah,
India. Let me see here.
The only two
Ukraine.
countries that are
Ukraine's got a bronze medal.
excluded are the Russians and Belarus.
Yeah, Ukraine's got a bronze medal, for crying out loud. So there's that.
For
What did they get a bronze medal for? I don't know. Let me-
Asking for the most money in the least amount of time from
wait. I'm looking that up. Artistic. No, wait. What is it?
Jesus, what the
women's.
fuck?
No, it's in fencing. It's in fencing.
Yeah, Ukrainian fencer dedicates medal to countrymen killed in the war.
And you only could you could only bring him a bronze. Wow.
Well, shit.
Losers.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
My dad was born in Kiev in Ukraine, if you want to call it Ukraine. It's all the former Soviet Union. It's all Russian. Don't believe the bullshit the media tells you.
I mean, I dedicate this win to my countrymen. It was sacrificed everything. Did you bring home the gold? No, I could only bring home bronze.
America not give enough money this time.
Have you
You know,
seen?
I love how Joe Biden's phone must have blown up when he announced he was pulling out of the presidential re-election race. Zelensky was probably like, "I'm still getting that money, though, right? You still sending me that cheese, Daddy?"
That check
You know-
was cashed, right?
Right.
It's good.
It's-
It's not going to go
my
bounce
number's
like the
still good.
balls, is it?
You know, do you still have my account number?
You is that going? Are we doing paper checks? We doing EFT on this? What's going on? What?
Did
How are we
Venmo,
doing?
did Venmo or Cash App go down?
NFTs too.
Hitting
Bitcoin,
Windows, the Windows crash. Did that affect PayPal?
You know, Zelensky's on the phone with OnlyFriends' customer service tech support. Like, hey, did you demonetize my page? You know what's going on there?
Oh, did you ever hear the hacker that hacked North Korea?
I mean,
No.
what's there to hack?
He literally. You're right, Chris. He only had to take down one server and it took down all of North Korea.
That's
where-
outstanding.
That's where
That's
later
outstanding.
all is porn.
Yeah.
That's
It was-
outstanding.
That's great.
So, in some nerd news, Futurama, the new season of Futurama, they premiered today.
Ah,
I watched that episode. It was rather entertaining.
I need to catch up on that.
Yeah, season 11 was really, really good. It really was. But season 12 came out today. Deadpool and Wolverine, if you have not been to see that,
Go.
go.
now.
Absolutely go. You know, I took Colin and his brothers on Wednesday last week or Thursday, and choices were made. Just putting that out there. Choices
I went to see it
were
Thursday.
made.
It was the texture
and
that really did it.
And the tongue is textured. So yes,
That's what brought it home.
all butter, but no popcorn. I'm just kind of putting that out there.
He buttered his own popcorn.
I'll butter it up for you.
Right. So, yeah, I spent $30 on a popcorn bucket. Yeah, I have
Money well spent.
no regrets at all. None at all. The amount of fourth wall breaks, pop culture references, cameos. I mean, this movie, absolute perfection. I mean, it was so good. So good.
Is there anything that you could share with us without giving away too much?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm sure there is, but like
There's a lot of comic book Wolverine.
there's nowhere to start, like at all.
Yeah,
It's that good.
The whole movie is basically a reference to. It's basically giving you everything comicdom and fan fiction and fandom all in like one movie.
It's. I mean, the words fan service
Oh yeah,
don't do this movie justice.
that's what it was. It was just
it is done in such a tasteful manner. And when I say tasteful, I'm talking Deadpool tasteful. But it was so well done.
yes.
The sad part is, like, what I've been reading is Disney cut a lot of Ryan Reynolds ideas out too. Like, there was so much more that he wanted to do, and
but let not our hearts be troubled, because Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds have both stated that they want to reprise their roles and play in a movie with Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Dude. Speaking of, you saw the reveal of who Dr. Doom is.
Yes, and we are not thinking Dr. Doom as in the Prime Universe's version of Dr. Doom. I am willing to put money on the fact that this is the infamous Iron Man. Because there is a variant of Dr. Doom that is Tony Stark.
Yeah.
They're doing like a multiverse.
There's no other way that they could possibly do it.
Right. And I mean, there are a lot of Marvel fanboys out there that are just absolutely trashing this casting, and I think that it is probably one of the best castings since RDJ for the role of Tony Stark. Honestly,
Okay, mind you, I like Robert Downey Jr. I know he's going to do a good job. It's going to be wonderful. But saying that, I think it's just a cop out. They could have found a better Dr. Doom.
Yeah, I'm sure they could have found a better Dr. Doom. They could have even Giancarlo Esposito. They could have probably had him play a variant of Doom, but he's going to be in Brave New World. So there was a trailer for Brave New World, and there was a trailer for Venom: The Last Dance.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now, this seemed a bit excessive, but there was like 30 minutes of straight previews before the movie got started.
Yeah, I got a massage
to
it.
You know, so
I'm okay with if the previews are worth watching.
yeah, there was one for Alien Romulus.
Yeah,
dude, that preview went hard.
I actually really want to see that.
Yeah, that preview went hard. There was a. I mean, I'm glad that the Army has trained us to. Chris, you know what I'm talking about. Has trained us to keep our bladders in check.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, because there is not a moment during the course of this movie that I felt like it was safe for me to get up and go take a piss.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I just
definitely
realized?
when you want to pee beforehand.
Yeah.
or you can just pretend like you're in France
One
and just
spot.
piss right where you are.
Right.
Oh, here we go. Wee.
You know what I just realized? They don't really have to have an actor playing Dr. Doom.
It's 'cause
They
the
just
mask
have to
is
have a very good voice actor playing Dr. Doom.
I get that, but
What was the key word in that of what you just said? What was the key word?
Voice actor.
But
Yeah,
what's the key
keyword.
word in that?
actor.
It's still an actor, David.
Yeah, but
And it
Like,
depends on how they betray Dr. Doom. Like, do they show how he became Dr. Doom?
Well, if they're going the route that a lot of
Then
people
they
think
need
that they're going to be
actual
going,
actor.
where it's Tony Stark, because
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
because like I said, there is a variant of Dr. Doom where Tony Stark becomes Doom, and it's the infamous Iron Man. And it's in the universe, if I'm not mistaken, it's in a universe where he got his global armor. You know, where the Legion of Iron
Yeah.
was successfully installed.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's the variant that we're going to get.
Oh, they also did the Fantastic Four trailer too.
I did not get to see the Fantastic Four trailer.
It's 1960. That's all I can say. It's 1960.
Really, they're going to go that far back?
1969. Yeah, 1960. Yeah.
I haven't seen the trailer, but I've
All right, now I'm just going to have to go look for it. But
that was the era. They're going all the way back.
God, I almost said something.
I really don't want this to be another like origin story. I don't. I am
We-
so sick of
we've
origin
seen
stories.
it.
It's just like Paramount and Skydance Studios have come out and said that Star Trek 4 from the fourth movie installment for the Kelvin timeline is supposed to be another origin timeline
How many
or another
origins do
origin
we
story.
need?
I'm like, I am so sick.
Spider-Man.
reboots.
Spider-Man never really did an origin story. The new one.
Yeah, Spider-Man. No, because we didn't need it. We understand
seen
what
it
the story.
like 3 times.
Yeah. So I mean, but the thing of it is that it's like, origin stories are so overdone. If you're coming out with an IP, with an original IP that is exclusive to the cinematic universe, then yes, please, by all means, give us the origin story.
Well,
Okay.
there's a reason. There's a small reason why they're doing it, and it's because of the next generation. That's it.
Well, if they're going to introduce the Fantastic Four, and then they're going to usher in this age of the new Avengers, or at some point the young Avengers, where are the Fantastic Four supposed to fit in there? Because if they're going to be created in a 1960s timeline, by the time that the new Avengers / young Avengers, come into play, Reed Richards is going to be ancient. Johnny Flame is going to be, the Human Torch is going to be nothing more than a burnt out match. He's going to look like an anorexic, redheaded Ethiopian at some
Charcoal
point.
break.
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny Blaze brought to you by Kingsford. It's like, come on.
I'll tell you what.
Instant light.
My name is Johnny Blaze, and I sell propane and propane accessories.
That is literally the whole reason why they do the origin stories. And
But nobody,
and you're right.
nobody cares.
What you have to understand, you do not care because you've seen it many times. But the little 4-year-old, the kid that's never actually read a comic book yet,
The little 4-year-old kid doesn't give a shit about the origin. He
all
wants
about
to
the
see
special effects.
explosions.
Yeah. He just
Yeah.
wants to see a dude who catches on fire and flies around.
Exactly. He doesn't care how he got there or what his motivations are.
He wants to see the Invisible Woman
He's a
stripped
whole
down, almost
big
in there,
monster.
butt naked, before she has to take, just to turn invisible. That's all that they care about.
Or the 10-year-old kid.
Yeah,
Okay,
or the
as
or the
as annoying as
14-year-old.
as annoying as origin stories are sometimes, origin stories also give us room to connect with said character to understand their motives for doing said thing that they do.
Thank you, Colin.
There's
But
a
it's
way
also
to-
possible to implement an origin story while implementing a full-length movie. Take the first Iron Man, for example. It gave you context and background as to why, how.
Yeah, but to that point, Max, we don't need to go all the way back to the 60s. We don't need
Right.
that.
No. I agree with you 100% on that.
I know nobody's asking for a 1960s. Oh, hey, we got kicked out of Woodstock and we got exposed to some gamma radiation. Man, it's far out. Nobody fucking cares. Okay, you want something? Let me finish, David. Let me finish this thought. You want a Fantastic Four that's going to be relevant and going to become an integral part of the newer of the later phases of the MCU. Go back to the early 90s, maybe 2000s, when just before the Avengers were formed, the original Avengers were formed, because at that point yes, they've got their powers. They're laying low because Reed Richards is trying to help the team figure out how to employ their skills and their powers and become a force to be reckoned with. They're still kind of operating under the radar because whether or not Kevin Feige has openly admitted it, Reed Richards has already been introduced into the MCU. And I'm not talking about that Scarlet, the multiverse of madness. I'm not talking about that. Okay.
I thought he was great in it.
We're not talking about the John Krasinski variant. We're talking about the version that is obviously going to be played by Pedro Pascal. But Reed Richards bought Stark Tower, and there was a sign on the old Stark Tower in downtown New York, and I believe it was No Way Home.
Yes.
So the Richards,
like the Fantastic Four, are already
established. So we don't
Modern
need to go back to the 60s. We don't need that way back in the day. No, I mean, make it newer, make it relevant. We don't have to go back to the 60s, because if we're going to go back to the 60s, you might as well CGI a 1960s era Stan Lee into the movie and have him say something epic like Excelsior or something. We don't need that.
There's ways of doing, and you see that with the first Tom Holland Spider-Man, where we didn't have a full-on origin story, and you were still able to explain his motivations for why he was doing, and it was subtle, it was different, but it was explaining why he does what he does, how he does it, without having to start all over from the very beginning.
Okay, true.
There's understanding that sort of at least something about the character.
But without all these heroes' origin stories, we wouldn't get probably half of the great stories that we do.
But that's the thing is, but that's again, though, we're talking about how many origin stories does there need to be? Like, why do we need a third origin story for a Fantastic Four when there's already been two of them that have already been done? Why do we need a third one?
Well, let's look at it like this. Subjectively speaking, if we take, for example, just the franchise of the Fantastic Four, the remakes that they have made have not done well historically. Now, they want to try to throw something against the wall and hope that it sticks this time and resonates better with a different audience. Okay, fine. I don't know that the 60s and that particular demographic is going to resonate well with the generation that they're trying to cater to. But like I said, it's one of those things that the other movies didn't do good.
For a good portion of the newer generation, I guarantee you a good portion has not seen the Fantastic Four movies.
Be that as it may, I mean, you can introduce some concepts or ideas or elements of the origin story into a more modern version of the Fantastic Four. The point is, the biggest source of contention is the fact that they're feeling like they've got to go all the way back to the 60s, because by the time that in order for them to chronologically catch up with the rest of the MCU, the current MCU, they're going to be old. They're going to be well past the point where they're going to have to go to bed at the end of, by the time Jeopardy's over, so they can get up on time to go to the early bird special at IHOP. They're the, that would be the Fantastic Four team that's getting calls from Medicare telling them it's time to renew their Part A and B. We don't need that. I mean,
it's more like a fantastic geriatric team at that point.
Even the Multiverse of Madness and Doctor Strange, the variant of Reed Richards that we got was young. He was in his 40s, still fighting age as far as superheroes are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
When we start talking about the 60s, by the time, because if we're talking chronologically and age wise, for a Fantastic Four team that has an origin in the 60s, they all would have received their powers. They would have been irradiated by the time that they were maybe in their late 20s, early 30s. Given the fact that Reed Richards himself is a multiple doctorate holding, astrophysicist, biophysicist, chemist, things like that. the youngest person on the team was going to be Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
So by the time they would have received their powers, they're in their mid to late 20s, maybe mid to late 30s. And that's in the 60s, right? Then you fast forward, 50 years to just the 2010s? I mean, they're good.
No. I got where you're coming from with that. I'm with you on that aspect. But
I mean, unless they're going to play the lazy writing element of time travel.
Yeah. But the whole thing of the origin stories, and I have a really funny point on this one. I was like, well, the last Fantastic Four movie that had an origin story was, 20 years ago. That was my realm of thinking. And then I looked it up. And I was like, oh, wait, there was a movie in 2015 that was Fantastic Four. Yeah, we'll just put that in the trash bin on that.
Okay, look, I agree with you that we don't need to go like way back to like in the 60s, but it does help to know where they came from, and not just like, oh, there's this guy that can just
we've already seen where they come
just
from.
a giant ball of flame.
And just because there's a new generation doesn't mean that we.
Yes, but not a good portion of this newer generation has not seen Fantastic Four movies.
Right, but we can give everybody the Cliff Notes version of it.
I mean, the movies are still there; they still exist. That's my point.
Right. But okay, so if we're taking into consideration things like, and this is going to be the only thing I talk about as far as Deadpool Wolverine is going to be concerned, the 20th Century Fox universe, okay? Those are the origin stories that are there of historical record, right? We have seen on multiple platforms, multiple storytelling techniques where we don't have to relive the origin story, because the origin stories can be told through flashbacks. We can use that tool. We can use flashbacks as a tool to bring the audience of all ages up to speed while still maintaining a pace and pentameter of the current story that is trying to be told.
Right. You're not beleaguering the point.
Yeah. I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel.
Exactly. It's a refresher.
We're not wasting an entire movie out of a contract that is being signed by these actors.
Right. Like I said, it's a refresher without having to overdo it.
Who says that this entire movie is gonna just be the origin story? What if they do like a tiny snippet of their origin story and then fast forward to like present day?
Again, if they're doing it in the 60s, I don't see how they're going to bring it to present day without accelerating the aging.
A lot of you're thinking you're making a lot of points and you haven't even seen the trailer. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Are you saying it's shot in the 60s style of cinema?
Okay.
Because if that's what you're saying, Dave, then you maybe need to lead with that instead of letting us get up on this huge complete jackass.
No, it's like from what I've seen, it's like set in the 60s.
I said it looks like it's set in the 60s. That's all I said.
Yeah, but still,
like it had King Grim on the dating show.
But let's look at this. Okay, who are they trying to cater to? We've got Colin right now in the younger generation. He probably does not know as much about the 60s to take that into context with the Fantastic Four, which he's familiar with, and then try to not blur the lines between the two. Are we trying to focus on the 60s? Are we looking at the Fantastic Four? Are you guys trying to do too much at one time in one movie? Where are you going with it is what I want to know.
I mean, and honestly,
fair.
To take a step back, fan bases of every IP here are not easy to please. What I mean, Star Wars fans, case in point. The worst thing about Star Wars fans is other Star Wars fans.
Yep.
Okay. Same thing can be said for Star Trek fans. The same thing could be said for Firefly fans, Babylon 5, Marvel, DC. I mean, regardless of what your IP is, fan bases are the worst
Right.
Okay, you know, and it's I was at the Space Cowboys game yesterday, and the older of the youth group that was there, they were talking about anime. Colin, you would have loved it, but and they got on the subject of My Hero Academia, and they said that the worst thing about My Hero is My Hero fans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's
so,
accurate.
but it's
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
Yeah.
to that point, it's all right. And Max said it, you know, and then this is what triggered the thought in my mind was, are you trying to do too much in the movie? You know, this, that, and the, we complain and we bitch all the time about continuity. And we complain and bitch all the time about rehashing the origin story when the fans, the true fans, the true believers, to quote the great late Stan Lee, we know the origin story. Now, if you're talking about time frames as far as like eras are concerned, yes, the technologies and the imaginations are different from era to era, whether it be the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way to present day. Case in point, Star Trek, the original series, when it aired in the 60s, okay, the Bridge of the Enterprise had a very, very 60s feel to it, right? Push buttons on the consoles. I mean, the duty log that Yeoman Rand brought to the captain every episode still had paper on it, right? Fast forward, you've got the Kelvin Timeline reboot movies, right? You've got, you know, a larger bridge, you got more tactical stations, you've got more options on the screen, the navigational displays and consoles are touchpads, right? So I mean, the technology is interpreted differently. I mean, you even look at like Strange New Worlds. You look at the Bridge of the Enterprise and Strange New Worlds. You look at the construction of the Enterprise over the different iterations of the original Enterprise, right? They're all different. Okay. And nobody can decide on what is canon versus what is not canon, right? Star Wars thought that, oh, hey, we're going to solve this just by making everything canon. And that in itself it's a problem, right? I mean, it's just because you get different stories that conflict within the same
real
time.
Star Wars. It's not what really it should be.
Well,
Right.
you got people that'll turn it into what they do in basketball sports. LeBron versus Jordan, it becomes Picard versus James Tiberius Kirk. That's what it boils down to in a lot of cases. Where you grew up and what you started watching, and then what it transitioned to, whether or not that was something that jived with you or not, resonated with you.
I'll squash the LeBron versus Jordan thing real quick. Jordan was quoted a couple of weeks ago as saying, I wasn't about chasing stats. I was about chasing rings.
Mm-hmm.
So
the brass matters. It's the hardware.
It's the hardware. So yeah, exactly.
You know, speaking of Origins, we're getting another boy spinoff.
Yes. We are. Season 5 of The Boy, or season 4 of The Boys was spectacular. We're gonna get a Soldier Boy and Stormfront spinoff when they were very active at Vought.
We're gonna get the beginning of Vought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be set in 1950s.
Yeah, and it's going to be set in the 50s.
And
but that's speaking of, you know, that's a spinoff, and we're going into kind of, you could argue it's an origin story, but these are characters we've never seen before outside of the comic book.
Yeah.
With the exception of Soldier Boy, which was in season 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but now we're going to go back and find out.
Soldier Boy and Stormfront were in season 3.
Yeah, they're all the characters are much differently character wise and personality wise in the comics versus, because like Soldier Boy is a beta cuck in the comics.
Oh God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where he was getting pegged, or he was getting railed by Homelander on several occasions in the comic books.
Yeah.
So to me, and it's the opinion of a lot of fans of the series, of both the comics and the show is much better.
Yeah.
The show is
that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah. there's certain things that I wish that was in the show because it was freaking hilarious in the comics. Like how the in season 2, there's this Russian chick that tried to get the guy from France to help her out with some kind of gig. Well, one, she was not tall, she was a midget, and two, the way she died was vibrating with C4.
Yeah. But if you haven't watched season 4 of The Boys, by all means binge it. Dude,
Yeah.
It's good. It's really, really good.
And another thing was the new Captain America movie that's coming out.
Yes. Yeah. This is gonna have to be the last thing we talk about because we gotta land the plane tonight pretty early. We're gonna uncharacteristically end the show before 9 o'clock tonight. So
Yeah.
Don't get used to it.
yeah, don't get used to it. It's not gonna be a regular
unheard
thing,
of.
people.
This is an outlier.
Yeah.
Cynthia,
Maybe
On top of the fact that there was no NASCAR news to cover this week, there was really no football news of noteworthy mention to talk
other
about.
than like
it might happen when you are at the Astros game. The Red Sox game. It might happen then as well.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
outliers.
yeah,
But
2 weeks to an hour.
yeah. Oh, hey, Colin, real quick. I caught a home run ball at the Space Cowboys game last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. But anyway, so yeah, Brave New World looks like it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be an introduction to the Thunderbolts. And so I'm looking forward to the Thunderbolts actually.
Yeah, I'm interested in the storyline.
Yeah,
That's
the storyline's
one
gonna be good.
thing.
Because
I
to me,
don't-
the Thunderbolts are going to, I know that they're going to all initially start out as kind of like, with the exception of Winter Soldier, they're really going to be kind of like
Well, they already
outlier
did
B
their story
team,
right
like pseudo villains, anti-heroes almost, but then they end up becoming good guys. And I like the way that Marvel is hopefully taking these, at least on the first appearance. It looks like they're taking it a good route. The fact that
weird.
do what now?
The Thunderbolts in the comics is weird.
It is, but I think that it's going to be going in a good direction. Did you pick up on in the trailer for Brave New World? Because you know that crap, the actor that they had playing,
He died.
yeah, he died. And when they recast Harrison Ford, notice that whenever Sam came in and he was like, "I'm still getting over the no mustache thing," and he goes, "New man, new face."
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's kind
I
of
thought that was kind of crafty. That was almost a fourth wall break worthy kind of a line there. I thought that was pretty good. But
they did the same thing with Iron Man too.
oh, with Rhodey, yeah. You know what I think? I still would have thought would have been awesome if they were going to still go with the Kang timeline or Kang storyline. They should have cast Terrence Howard as a Kang variant that they would have ended up just fighting.
That would have been funny.
That would have been fucking
It would
hard.
have been funny, but after
Speaking- dude,
the way that
why-
he left the MCU in the first place, I don't see that ever happening.
Yeah, well, this is true.
Why
What's
are
up, Colin?
so many people dogging on the last Ant-Man movie?
I don't know.
really
bro.
liked it.
With the way that the last Ant-Man movie, the way that Quantum Mania ended, it was supposed to be the launching pad for the Kang Dynasty,
Yeah.
and
And
when
Jonathan,
Jonathan Majors did what he did to get fired from the MCU, it really just kind of left the Ant-Man IP kind of hanging out there.
and he actually did a
They
wonderful
threw
job.
all their eggs in that basket.
Yeah,
He
No,
was
I'm just
actually
saying, like, as a movie,
He did.
but I mean, I'll tell you what, Paul Rudd aged wonderfully.
Yeah.
So
finally aged.
he finally aged. And when you go to when you two, Max and Chris, when you finally go see Deadpool and Wolverine, you'll understand that line. So
It was in I saw it in the trailer.
Yeah.
So
Well, everybody, let's go ahead and end this. First off, though, so everybody can listen to it, Max made a song and dance and everything. We're going to play it one more time for everybody else, and then we're going to go ahead and get off this train. If it wants to.
Welcome to Nerd Sports, where we discuss topics that provoke thought without any fuss. Team of veterans and a brave civilian unite under Angry Meat Productions guiding light. We are a beacon for those who seek audacious humor, unafraid to speak, celebrating freedom with every beat, exploring controversial issues, taking a seat, navigating life with intellect, not defeat. The Nerd Force always with us, never discreet. Johnny, Chris, Dave, Colin, and Mad Max unite. A diverse crew ready for any fight. From Kansas City to Texas, our voice is strong, an unstoppable force where we belong. Diverse perspectives, ideas that ignite.
you know what that just the kind of tone and the pacing of that reminds me of? The like the 60s, 50s and 60s sitcom introduction to WandaVision.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was all nerd based.
I'm here for it. That dude, that was
That's
yeah. Bell wants to know, David, why do you dance like a Sim character?
Why does he talk like a Sim character?
That is awesome. Oh, that is awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have been privy, you have been exemplary in your indentured servitude for the last hour and 20 minutes. Historically, mark this down on your calendars. July 29th in the year of our Lord 2024. Nerd Sports was only an hour and 20 minutes, give or take a couple of here and there for margin of error.
I think
We are after all in the age of analytics.
I think
But,
this is the shortest show we've ever done.
It is the shortest show that we've ever done. Yeah, don't get used to it. It's not going to be a thing. But with that being said, my name's Johnny Skelton.
I'm David Dickerman.
I am Chris Jacka.
Not
I
everybody.
am Mad Max the Russian.
Colin.
This is where you pipe up.
Are we? Dude, you got all of y'all froze. All y'all froze. We're doing the outro.
Yes, we're doing it. Say, hey.
Say goodnight,
Outro
Grace.
2.0.
I'm Colin Skelton.
And in the words of the great lesbian pirate, what's a good name this week? Bearded Clam. Scissor me timbers. Arr.
Arr.